So you just heard the little instrumental called Snake Eyes Blues, and I thought we're going to do a little lesson on it. I did a previous lesson called Bring It to a Higher Level, and that's what I'm going to try to do with this lesson as well. So we'll take a simple slide melody and let's see how we can embellish it and make it more interesting for the learner, for the viewer or listener. And you noticed I played 3 verses, and it's 3 times the same thing, but with lots of variations. So we're in open tuning, open D tuning. And I tapped out the basic arrangement, and you'll find the link in the video description, so you can get that. And well, I'm gonna play it as it tapped out, and with a bass 4 to the bar, 1, 2, 3, 4. Start again, then it goes on and on. And the first thing I did to make the arrangement more interesting is to change the bass. Instead of that rather maybe boring 4 to the bar, I added, well, you could say that it's a 12/8 bass with triplets, but you only hear main this, and it sounds like it's 4 to the bar, but it's more 12/8 bass, shuffling bass. So for example, in the beginning you hear that, and the song has a mixture of monotonic bass, which is muted by the way with this part of your hand. After I hit the string, I mute like that, and well, you can see like this. In slow motion it would be like this, and then I place my hand in, but then a little bit faster. Okay, and there's a few sections that are have an alternating bass, like the third bar. And to get it more swinging, I accent and I mute more than usual. Usually the second and the fourth beat. And you see a cross in the tablature. It means hit with your right hand, and it's a percussive hit. It doesn't sound any. There's no note sounding. So let's play that fourth section with more interesting than before. And little slaps in between and brushes like that creates also interest. And in the fourth bar, normally it's in Unisian, but I played first the bass and then the treble note. And also in that, I call it sort of a turnaround lick, comes back several times. Just by extending that last slide on the third, the fourth and the sixth string, you create interest as well. So it sounds like this. And there I slap down with my nails and I immediately mute with my right hand afterwards. You notice that when I play slide, I let my wrist do a lot of sliding. So you hang in there, and by turning, you get a lower sound. It goes like this, instead of... You let the notes shimmer a bit, which is, in my opinion, an interesting sound. So we were at the fifth bar. Also note that in the tablature you will see that I'm sliding up to the fourth fret. But in actual, I'm doing not a fourth fret, that would sound like this. And I'm doing more 3.5, just a bit lower than the fourth fret, which is much more interesting. You can hear that in the music of Blind Willie Johnson. He plays all his slide tunes are in the open D tuning. And you very, very clearly hear, he was blind, so he didn't know that he was sliding not at the fourth fret, but in between the third and the fourth fret. And why? Because it's more bluesy. This is really the fourth fret, and this is just below. And okay, then we had bar 7. And here I'm muting with my picking finger by placing it on the string after I picked it. And as a general rule, I take what I play in the first string, I do with my middle finger, and on the second string with my second finger. And especially in the first section you can hear why I do that. This note, the 7th fret on the second string, is the same as the 2nd fret on the first string. So we could have played. But here we can use the whole chord, which is more interesting. But we don't want the sounds of the first string. It would do that if I wouldn't mute the string. So when I pick the first string with my second finger, and the moment I slide up to the second string 7th fret, I pick that with my index. my second finger is placed on the first string and kills the sound. You hear that? So that's also an important feature of slide playing. Otherwise it becomes too much of a mush. You hear that, and I want this. So I hope that is clear. So then we'll also in this song, which is a lot of improvising, stay with the melody, but you can improvise when you're well underway. For example, whatever you play on the 7th fret, you can use whatever string here. Sounds always good. So, for example, in the 3rd bar, we did that, but you can don't play the 1st string, for example. It's perfectly possible. Also for the 5th fret, there you can play also every string on that fret during the song, and use your imagination there. Then we go to the 9th bar, where I do some really, well, some slapping, and I placed in the tablature the right hand pattern. The first beat is thumb, index, so like that, and followed by the thumb again and the index up. Like that. Okay, I'll play that one more time from the 7th bar. A lot of slaps there. If this is too difficult, you can simply go from again from the 7th bar. And add some rhythmic devices. You see, there's a lot of possibilities in slide playing. This is just one possibility. Then in the 10th bar, we go from and here I'm muting with, I'm picking the strings with both index and middle finger. Each finger has a string, so. And as a variation, you could do that 3rd time when we go to the 12th fret. Open. You can always play open strings and then fret. So there's no harm in that, because, well, you're in open tuning. It sounds always good. It's always a chord, even when you don't fret it. So, and then we go to the 5th fret, and I'm changing the angle of my thumb here. Normally I play, this is a mixture of nail and flesh, but if I change the angle like that, then I get more nail, it's a sharper sound. You see? That's also a way to add some variation in your sound. And especially when you're sliding up such a bass string. Again with some slap. Now the second verse, I play the same melody but on the bass strings, because our 1st and 2nd string, E and an A, well, we have that same configuration on the 4th and the 5th string. So we can play any melody notes which we used to play on the so we can play the whole thing on the bass string as well. And we don't have to play then the bass all the time. So I did this second fret hammer on the 5th string. I usually play with my finger. You can do that with a slide as well, but just as a variation I play it with a finger. Notice the angle of the temp to make it really a sharp sound. The double thumbing here. 5th fret, 6th fret, 5th string. And then, for the 3rd verse, we're going to play the 1st verse again, but with some variations. So instead of going back to the 2nd string 5th fret, sorry. Instead of doing, I'm going to the 12th fret, 2nd string 12th fret, and 1st string 12th fret, and then a little figure, da, 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 da. 12th fret, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. So the whole thing is. And we're starting over again. And instead of going, I'm going one time to the 9th fret, and I'll just keep a rest, insert a little rest there. And then resume the rhythm. And then what we did in the 1st verse was, and now I'm going to play that on the 1st and the 3rd string, the same configuration. And a couple times like that. So not in unison like that, but really put your finger on the string, under the 5th fret, slide to the 5th fret on the 2nd string. Get that little funky sound. By the way, this is a guitar with, let's say, medium light strings. I mean, with that, it's a Dario set, custom light called, and it starts with an 11. So it's between an extra light and a light string set. Just to keep you situated here. Now, I think we covered the whole thing, so have fun with it.